Okay, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're watching us from. My name is Bukola Alonge, and welcome to another series on core skills series with Dr. Toyin. Today is going to be a special one because we are celebrating the men, our husband, our brother, our friend, boyfriend, anybody that is a
Father.
man. We are celebrating them today. And before we start, let's welcome Dr. Toyin on board. Good morning, Dr. Toyin. How are you doing today?
Good morning, Bukola. Yeah, it's a rainy day, but I mean, it's a cool one, and I've had breakfast, so I'm feeling good.
So you are pumped for today's conversation.
Absolutely. Let's get this done.
Okay, so today we are going to be discussing a topic around the men because this month is International Men's Day. We've celebrated women a lot. International Women's Day, International Mothering Day,
A lot
Mothering
in
Day.
March and April, right?
So, so this month we are going to be celebrating, or we are celebrating because we are not the only one celebrating the men. Everybody around the world is celebrating the men this month, and we'll be discussing a very crucial topic concerning the men. And this topic is mental health and breaking silence, because a lot of men are always um, being, oh, I don't need to talk. You have to act like a man. You don't have to say your mind. Or when you're facing a particular thing, you are supposed to just keep quiet and don't just say anything. So before we dive straight into talking about men, Dr. Toyin, for clarity, what do you understand by mental health? Or
Hmm.
just that topic or
Okay.
that.
Yeah, so as usual, you know me, I would always simplify things. I love
The
simplicity.
queen, let me, sorry, before you start, let me say your new name, the queen of simplicity, so that
Yeah. So it
yes.
simply it simply means the health of the mind. Yeah. Taking cognizance and taking note of how healthy your mind is. Oftentimes in this part of the world, we are more concerned about our physical health. But I think things are changing very fast because now people are beginning to recognize that it's not just only when you are not feeling well physically, that's when you are not feeling well. And I think Gen Z also helped us to come up to speed because any little thing,
Yeah.
my mental health. Yeah. And so it's just basically, man is a spirit, he has a soul, and he lives in the body. So it's the health of your soul, the health of your mind, the health of your will, the health of your intellect, the health of anything that sits around your mind, basically. I hope I've
I
done
love
justice as
that.
usual.
I love that. And because of we are talking on the men, do you think that the men are really trying to express themselves? Because mental health, as you explained, is not just about the body, it's also about the mind. And anything that comes off from your mind, is either you are depressed, is either you're happy, it's either you are sad, or something is happening. So do you think men are actually breaking the silence of their mental health to the world and people around them?
Yeah, so I would totally agree because it's becoming better. Maybe we
Mm.
don't have it holistically and as we should,
Yeah.
but I think it's becoming better. I think the awareness also around the World Mental Health Day, those are other things that has helped to,
Mm.
bring about that awareness. So men are doing quite better as to before, but not as much as I think we, their mothers and their wives and their, like you said, girlfriends and sisters and cousins would love them to. But I would say it's a whole lot better. Prior to now, men are seen like they have all the superpowers. They don't, as if they are not humans. But I must vividly say that it's actually getting better than years to years. Yeah.
Okay, I love that. A lot has changed compared to your time and our mother's time, or even now in my time. A lot has changed. A lot of men are still coming out. But do you think the society are helping men to come out to say their mind, in the sense that men says their mind? Sometimes people say this is men's word, but when you talk about facing particular problem or being being accused of particular things, there's a little a man can say or a man can express that people say, oh, you're a man, don't cry, you're a man, don't do this. There's this particular thing trending now that I saw something online and somebody was saying, oh, why would a man be drinking milkshake? You know the popular milkshake, right? So why will a man? And I'm like, what is the big deal when a man is drinking milkshake? They're like, oh, it's because of it's a ladies' thing. Any man that is drinking milkshake is a gay and all. But do you think this? That's what I'm trying to drive from this particular point of view, because people are saying, oh, milkshake is for the ladies or for the women. So do you think the society are helping men to truly showcase their mental health or to truly say what is in there for them in some scenario, in some aspects? Sometimes a man will come out and say, oh, my woman is cheating on me, and everybody will be like, oh, you're a man, why would your woman be cheating? That means you are not man enough or this or that. So do you think the society is helping men to really come out from their shell and to break their silence?
Okay, so we are actually speaking on a global platform. So society is relative, but I will still speak in the context of the country where I live, where my nationality and where I reside.
Yeah.
Really, we can do a lot better. We are not giving men as much support as they should, because why won't a
Mhm.
man drink milkshake? For crying out loud. I mean,
Exactly.
it's healthy for them, so why not if not? And also because we just have this facade that men are strong because they look physically strong, quote and unquote.
Mm.
For those of us that are married or are even in a relationship, we realize that men are babies in adult bodies. They want attention, they want the tender love and care. And like I always say, for any reasonable married woman that, is in a marriage that all things being equal, things are, the way they should, one of the greatest tool or one of the greatest, like I always tell people that I have the pin to my husband's heart when not just manipulatively, but just giving them that little extra attention, just giving them that little extra care. And also, your children are watching, whether male or female. And what you do goes a long way than what you say to them. So
Exactly. Yeah.
we just have to be very intentional. They don't ask for it like we do. They
Mm.
pretend as if they don't need it, like we come out to say, I need this. Yeah. But the truth is, every human being is wired with emotions, and every human being has that primary need to love and to be loved, to care and to be cared for. So we can do a lot better, a
Yeah,
whole
you
lot
can do
better.
a lot. Yes. I love the fact that you already answered what is bringing us to the next question, because I love the fact that you said we can do more and you've offered solution to say, oh, talk to your husband, talk to your male friend, talk to your boyfriend, talk to your brother, and have conversation. You said we can, as a lady, when you are feeling some type of way, sometimes some people hide it, but mostly when a lady is feeling something, she voices out, I'm not, my mental health is this, man. But as a man, you try to conceal it in a particular way that you don't want people to feel like, oh, men don't cry, you are a man. And I love the fact that I said, try to speak up, have conversation with your partner, talk to people, say, just express yourself. There is this conversation that broke out on the internet, I think 2 months ago, where a man came online and talked about how his wife was cheating and left him to the UK or America or something like that to go and marry another person. And he was even crying on a podcast show, like something like this. And a lot of men were talking on him, saying, "Oh, you're not supposed to do this. You're not supposed to come out. You're not supposed to cry on national TV." But you telling us now that helping them will bring the fact that, oh, there's people that is behind me. I can do it. A man, it's not a taboo for a man to cry. Thank you so much, Dr. Toya. I really love that. Okay, so moving on to the next question. Do you think as a woman, we are supposed to, how would I put it now? We are supposed to give access for our man to show their weakness, in the sense that, a lady or a married woman, or even this our own generation, be like, I want a manly man. I don't want you to come to come and cry in front of me and act well, or if I'm crying, you are crying. What of the child? So do you think as a lady you are supposed to open your mind, or you are supposed to open the door for your man to cry? And how can you also prevent your mental health as a lady to see that this man opening up to me is not because he's weak, it's because he's showing his expression.
Wow. So this is a two-in-one question.
Yes,
So as you
yes.
were asking the question, my mind went memory lane. So I'm going to be a bit vulnerable here, right? I remember that I once dated someone from the north, and I'm not going to say the state so that it will not start, but another part of Nigeria. And I mean, I don't know. I've never seen a man that vulnerable. Yeah, because I'm of course I'm from the west, but now married to a man in the east. Ah, Bukola, I'm a true Nigerian. So I think it's only the south that I've not had something to do with intimately. So
Yes, I know, right?
and I was shocked. I had the culture shock because the first time I saw him cry, I was like,
Mm.
you know, I don't want to take you down memory lane, but that was just what happened. I had that initial shock, and somewhere in my head, I'm like, ah, I can't marry this kind of man. I'm saying
Mm.
it because that was my mentality then. And then I was actually a youth corporal, pretty in my early 20s as well. Because he cried. But by hindsight now, I know better. Okay.
Yes,
Though
yes.
though I've not seen my own husband cry for almost 17 years now, but I've seen him on the state of express other form of anger. I'm sorry,
Mm.
other form of emotions, anger, and all of that, which is, I mean, common to everybody. So I think by hindsight now, I think I really just, now that I'm better informed, I'm well exposed, I think I would have embraced his vulnerability better. So
Mm.
why am I saying this? So maybe anyone watching this or listening to this podcast at some point, you felt that way too. Knowledge is ever progressive. And like I would always say, never leave yourself the same way you woke up the same morning. Always get better
Yes.
each and every day. So I think this podcast is also a form of you learning to also be able to,
Mm.
embrace what is more important as to what the myth or the general perspective is. So right
Yes.
now, the almost 20-year-old me or 20 plus years old me, and now compared to now, I know better. So I would embrace my man to be very vulnerable now. That's number one. Then, can you remind me of the second question you asked regarding this?
The second question is, as a lady, when do you now understand that this is not about your man being weak, but it's about him showing his expression or his emotions to you, and
And
how to, as a lady, how to
manage your own,
control that, or
your,
how to manage that
your
thing?
own.
Because as you said, sorry to cut you, you said about the man. Immediately you saw that it's fine. You're like, no, I can't marry this. So what if you're already married and you see that kind of
Mm.
thing? How can then you say, oh, this is just him showing his expression, not just thinking that, oh, my man is weak, I need to be the man now, that kind of thing.
Okay, so it still boils down to the awareness and you learning here. So I'm also going to say that regarding mental health, you must be able to set healthy mental boundaries because sometimes things happening around you, if you are not careful, not that you are not compassionate, not that you are insensitive, but you need to also know your mental health wellness, the
Yes.
level of what you can take in. So I had experienced a bit of mental health crisis at some point in my life. And so right now I know how elastic what I can take and what I can't take. Yeah.
Yes.
So remember, it's first about physician heal thyself. If you are not healthy, you can't take care of a sick person. So
Yeah.
you must also be able to have mental health boundaries, knowing your own limits personally. Yeah, at some point, some people have even criticized me that they felt that I should talk about some things, and because of my level of influence and all of that. But at this point, I don't really care. It's really about me being able to stay alive,
Yeah.
fighting for my own mental health first. Yeah.
Exactly.
At some point on Saturday, I have a friend, a fellow colleague in the education sector, and he's just been sending me a lot of links. Yeah. Of course, I don't click on it because I have built that boundary. So I had to caution him on Saturday and say, hey, bro, don't send me this kind of links again. And then he was like, oh, no, it's because it concerns the education sector, it concerns teachers and all of that. I didn't even respond to him. I've made my words clear, and I know my mental health boundaries. Is it that I'm not compassionate? Of course not. For those that are very close to me, love is one of my core values, and I can be very compassionate to a fault. But I've also come to realize that with my mental health history, with my health experience in the past that is not too palatable, I have to just build boundaries. And that's my advice. So, whilst you're caring, I'm not saying you should not care, you must also know your limits. So, it's just also about, just like you have a general idea about your physical health. So for some people, you have low blood sugar, you have high blood count, you have cholesterol level, and then you are taking measures to make sure that your body is still in shape,
Yeah.
irrespective. The same thing, you need to be able to be aware of your state of your mental health history. Is this something that is, prevalent in your family? Do you have that background? Have you experienced some form of mental health challenge before? So all of these things, once you are aware, you then also know how to set boundaries. Because if you want to be El Shaddai, you shall soon die.
I love that. I love that. So this is telling somebody out there that even if you feel like, oh, this is what this man is facing, also understand yourself, because it's very important to understand yourself so you can dish out something that is right for the man, because there is this popular saying that you can't give what you don't have. So listen to this kind of podcast, listen to a lot of good intake from different people about men will also help you to know that, oh, this man coming to me to express his feeling is not about him being weak or him being slow. It's just that he wants to express what he feels, and you'll be able to embrace that. I love that. I love that very much. Okay, let's move to the children and we'll wrap this up, because children are also people that will still grow, or the male child, they are still going to grow to be a proper man in the society. Okay, so Dr. Toyi, as somebody that is a special advocate for children, because I know you that you also love children, and as a teacher, and you've also done a lot with children. When do a parent know or try to figure out that this particular child is facing something, not just his how will I put it now, not just his character. Now, me saying this is that a lot of parents will feel like when a man is not talking in some certain things, like, oh, he's a man, he's quiet, he does not need to talk. You just leave him like that. So when do you understand that this is the time to allow this child to speak, or this is the time to allow this child to express himself? Even while growing up, you see two children, the female child will be crying, the male child will be crying, and the mother will be saying, "You are a man, stop crying." Oh yeah, the female child come and embrace the female child, but you leave the male child because you feel like you are not supposed to cry. So as a parent, when do you understand that this is the time to pay attention to this child and show the child that yes, you are free to express your feeling, you are free to say what is in your mind, and not just think about it like, oh, you are a man, don't cry, just go and sit down, embrace it and all.
Thank you so much, Bukola. In fact, there's so much research out there, really, really trending, and which talks about the mental health of children and how it even impacts the academics more than the teaching that we are trying to do. A child that
Exactly. Yeah.
grows up in a home that is well supportive emotionally, that the child is able to have adequate nutrition, adequate care, adequate support, will naturally, I think by 80%, will do academically better than a child that is naturally intelligent and finds him or herself in an environment that is not so comforting. That's how powerful being um, intentional about the mental health of our children and their emotions, most importantly. So, like you've mentioned, whether it's a male child or a female child, it's important you give them the appropriate care that they need. So, at some point, I do tell people that I can't have more than two children, not just because of the financial, I mean, by the grace of God, I've overcome that, but because of the amount of mental and emotional energy needed to be invested. Yeah. It's so serious that on days when I tell my kids, when they come back from school, they're not going to meet me at home. I have to do a lot of explaining, hugging in the mornings, and because that's the way I've chosen to raise my kids. Yeah. It's amazing to let you know that on days when they know that they're going to meet me at home when they come back from school, they're already excited and their day is made. So as
Yeah.
little as that, you can imagine, as little as that. So I would say it's not rocket science. When do you know how to pay attention to a child's mental health or ask a question? It's not rocket science. It's just that relationship right from when you are carrying them in the womb. So if you are a single person listening to this podcast, you are most blessed because and even if you have given birth and you have not been doing that, you need to be able to. That's why energy management is very important for us as
Yeah.
adults because it's
Very
not only
important.
our work that is taking our energy. So many other things are taking our energy. So your ability to be able to reserve some of your energy, no matter how tired you come back from work, to be able to give some to your children and to your family is very critical.
Mm.
So that relationship that you have built and established right from when they are in the womb till when you give birth to them and all of that. Little gestures, such as when they want to talk to you, maybe you're listening to something, you pause it, say, give me a minute, you pause that thing, remove your earpiece and listen to them goes a very long way. I mean, just yesterday, my children came back from school and I was actually I was on a program by the International Coaching Federation. We have a global summit being a credential coach with ICF. And when it came in, I saw that they wanted to talk to me. So I had to reduce the volume of what I was listening to. Was that thing not important? But my children are more important because
Yeah.
I can watch the replay. And so,
Exactly.
yeah, so they were in the mood to share with me because they're actually writing their midterm test. And they were in the mood to share with me what happened during the midterm test. So they both sat down. In fact, they had not removed their school uniform. So I knew that this is serious matter. So I had to just pause everything I was doing. My son shared his own exciting news, how he saw one of his test scripts and he scored 19.5 over 20. And my daughter was sharing how, oh yeah, she expected more. No, she didn't do too badly, but she expected more. She did not meet up to her own standard that she has set for herself. So at that
Mm.
point, I just had to, encourage her and say, irrespective, I love you as a person. You know, what could you have done better next time? And under 20 to 30 minutes, they were done. They went in, changed their clothes, and I was back doing what I was going to do. So I give that as an hypothetical because it just happened yesterday. So there is so many other scenarios. Why am I
I love
sharing
that.
this?
Yeah.
Yes, why am I sharing this? You will know as a mother, especially when you already have relationship, when you are not a mother or a father,
Paying
was
attention.
absent.
Yes.
Yes, observe by observing. Sometimes you
Mm.
need to ask questions. So I also saw something, recently on my daughter's phone. It was actually a responsibility that they gave her in church, and I saw her response to the person. I was like, "What happened?" And then she told me that she has a lot on her head. She's a prefect already. She has chores. So she gave me a strong reasons.
Mm.
If it was in our own time, my mother would have slapped you 3 times first. Like, they have to
And
do
you have to
something
do
in
it. You
church.
have to do it.
You
Yes.
understand? So, and that's so she was
Yeah.
like, so I now had to, oh, okay, could you have said it this way? Could you have let them know? Could you have, and we had close to an hour conversation on Sunday evening. So it's that connection that before you can even correct a child effectively, you have to connect your
Mm.
ability to have that relationship with them and all. So don't let this podcast be too
I,
lengthy.
I love that. Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Toyin.
Yeah.
Thank you. I love that. And happy International Men's Day to all the men out there. We wish you greatness, we wish you success. And I must say, a lot of responsible men are out there. So don't let just sideline the responsible men and always talk about the irresponsible men. Shout out to every man that is responsible for their family, for their sisters, for their brothers, and for the society at large. I want to say thank you so much for being in the society with us as the women and them. Thank you. And Dr. Toyin, do you have any word for the men? Just something for them.
Yeah, so
So
just to
it
let you,
could look as if they are always embracing the women. So let's just
yes,
tell them something
yes.
today.
I think from the depth of my heart, I just want to tell every man out there that Dr. Tony loves you. Yeah. So my husband knows the kind of wife that he has married that I'm a woman of. I'm a gift to my world. So we love
Yes.
you. We appreciate you. We see all that you do. Like Bukola, it's not easy being a man. I don't even, I
It's
think
not easy. It's not easy.
we see
Yes.
what you do. We pray for you. We pray. We trust God that you would move from one level of glory to another. We know the devil attacks you a lot, and we're praying for God's protection. Just to let you know that we are rooting for you. You have women here that believes in you, that trust you, that loves you, that appreciate all that you do. And we pray that God will continue to bless you. Thank you, everyone, for watching.
All of us from Cost Skills Transformational Academy Limited, we say thank you to all the men out there. Happy International Men's Day, and we wish you success. Thank you so much, Dr. Toyin, for joining in. I know this
You're
is
welcome.
more out of your comfort zone, but yes, I love how you made it simple and how the conversation went well. So thank you so much. My name is Bukola Alonge, and I'll see you in our next episode talking about another thing that is informative, transformative, and then a lot of things come on board. You can do us to follow us on all our social media platforms. Positive Transformational Academy Limited. Just search for us and you see us there. You can follow Dr. Toyin too on our social platform. Dr. Toyin Emehelu, you see her there. You can also do us to follow me, Bukola Alonge. You see me there
Yes,
too. Thank
follow
you.
Bukola too. Content
Thank you,
creator
Dr. Toyin.
extraordinary. Till we come
Yeah,
your way
thank
again
you so
next
much.
time. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.